Welcome everyone! On this channel we talk about the beautiful and complicated life of nomads. So let's begin!
Hello everyone. For those of you who are new to the channel, my name is Yelena. I was born in Serbia. I lived in France for 16 years and now I live in the UK. I've been here for just over 7 years. I speak 4 different languages and I worked as a flight attendant for 10 years. Which means that I know a lot of people that have lived abroad at some point in their lives. So I love talking about that. And today we'll be talking about how warm are British people and how welcoming they are. I met up with a friend the other day who is Australian, and she said something that kind of shocked me. She said that she finds British people much colder than Australian people, and having gone back home recently, she kind of felt that difference and saw that difference. And I found it strange because when I first arrived here, I thought that it was quite the opposite. But having been in France for that long, especially around Paris, yes, there is a bit of a cultural shock coming here in that respect, because Parisians are very cold, and coming to the UK for me felt very welcoming and very friendly. So I've found that quite interesting, the difference between perspective between her experience and mine. So kind of wanted to dig into it, and I think that British people are very warm and welcoming, but they don't go deep into things. They don't ask personal questions. They're very private people in general. But I think that if you as a person coming to the UK, if you dig deeper and ask the right questions and want to get to know them better, they will be very open-minded and open and honest. So I think it kind of needs to be a two-way street, rather than just expecting them to make the first step, because I don't think they will. So it's a generality. We live not too far from London, so it's again, coming back from Paris, it's a similar mentality, I would say. Fast life, work, and not that much time to make those connections with people. So I think that probably has something to do with it. I've heard that up north in the UK, people are much warmer. And I think it's similar to France. As soon as you get out of that sort of Paris and just outside of Paris circle, as soon as you go down south or up north, I think it's people are much warmer. And yeah, so linking into that, I wanted to touch upon the subject that I've been thinking about for a while, and now I thought now was a good time because of the recent events and what's coming up in the next week or so, and that is the royals and Meghan Markle. So Meghan Markle has been really negative about the royals recently, and has been really negative about, portrayed them as very cold and very unwelcoming to her when she first came to the UK, and that she just wasn't loved by the British people, that she was always rejected by everyone, and kind of played up the victim card, has been playing up the victim card for a while, and kind of dragged Prince Harry into it as well. However, I seem to remember, because we were here at the same time, we had arrived here around the same time or just before, and I seem to remember that it was all very positive and that everyone was quite happy that she was coming into the royal family, and even the magazines, and I will put a few magazines there in a second, but even the magazines were very positive about her and said how she was bringing up that change, and how it was great that Prince Harry had chosen her, to be his bride, and they were all very, very happy about her and very positive. So what happened next, I think, is it must have been a cultural shock for her coming here from the US, because again, in the US it's even more extreme in terms of how positive people seem to be and how happy everyone seemed to be and smiling and welcoming, etc., etc. I'm saying seem to be because obviously we all have our struggles and we all have our opinions, but I think in the US people are very good at sort of hiding those and pretending that everything is all great all the time, and so maybe having come from that environment, and especially in Hollywood where she was making a name for herself and everyone seemed to adore her, maybe she just found that it wasn't all about her when she joined the royal family and wasn't very happy that she wasn't getting as much attention as she was expecting to get. So I don't know. I think it's like coming to the UK hoping to get 40 degrees and sunshine all the time. You don't come to the UK expecting that. You come to the UK expecting 20 degrees and rain, or 15 degrees, and being cold and miserable in the winter and autumn and most of the spring. But that's just how it is. And I think it's the same coming into a royal family, especially of that importance, of that just don't understand how someone can come in and think that they're going to change everything, and that it's all going to be about them. Anyways, that is my personal opinion. Let me know in the comments what you think of the royals and what you think of that cultural shock between an American person coming to live in the UK. I think there was a cultural shock for sure for her, and there probably is every time she comes. Funnily enough, now Kate and William are visiting the US, are going to the other side of the pond for the first time in 8 years. So they're over there. Obviously, it's not the same situation. They're just visiting. But I think they're doing a great job so far. And I'm interested, actually. I haven't looked it up, but I'm interested to see if they will be there next week still, because that's where the Netflix documentary is coming out. So on the 10th, I think the date is out now, on the 10th of December. The documentary, the Harry and Meghan Markle, next week. So interested to see if they will be in the US at that point. I'm not sure they'll stay for that long, except if they're doing a tour. If they are doing a tour, then they will. I should have looked that up, actually. But yeah, so the British people are very warm and welcoming, have been towards me. Have never felt discriminated here. I mean, I spoke English when I arrived here fairly well, but obviously I had a big accent and I wasn't as confident as I am now in my English. But no one has ever made me feel, like I don't speak properly, or being judgmental, or never felt discriminated at all, and up to this day. So I don't know, let me know what your experience has been coming from the US or a different country, or France or any other different country. I'd be very interested to know. Write it down in the comments down below, and we can talk about the French maybe next time and how welcoming the French people are, and a few bits and pieces that the French people do that you might not get somewhere else, especially if you're an English speaker. So we'll talk about that next time as well. And let me know also in the comments if there are any subjects that you would like to cover. And if you are a digital nomad, please get in touch with me. I would love to talk to you and maybe interview you in the future, because I really want this to become a community, and I want to share your stories as well as mine. So thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel and like the video. And yeah, write in the comments down below if you want to talk about any other subjects. See you all soon. Bye.